everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Pillage coverage as we cover more of the scenarios as a quick sort of review and overview of these for newer players, as it's still a relatively new game. And hey, scenario 2 is actually called Pillage. Surprise! They did the thing, they said the name. So this is an interesting one. We'll take a look at the suggested battle map here, right? We got kind of a central location here with the village and some outlying farms and fields and buildings and stuff, but then kind of a central road as well with the center kind of objective area, scenario area here. We'll get into that. So for this, a small isolated village falls prey to an attack by pillagers. Forewarned, however, the villagers have been able to raise the alarm and send for help. A band of defenders is sent forth to counter the attack and prevent the enemy from carrying off their food stores and precious cloths. So the armies, each player can pick their preferred faction. The opposing armies can be from the same faction. Army budget here, you got 600 gold pieces per side. Deployment, the attacker deploys first and gets the initiative for the first turn of the game. Once their army has been completely deployed, it's the defender's turn, and you can kind of see that here. So we kind of have board edges, right? 4 inches in, 4 inches in. So for the defender, a group of defenders are actually already in the village. During deployment, the defender places 25% of their figures within 6 of the village center. The rest are deployed normally within 6 of the table edge. Although here, looks like they probably have a little bit of an edit issue, right? Because it's saying that the deployment areas are 4 inches in, and here they're saying 6. So I would, given that the attackers is also 4, I would just maybe go with 4 here a piece. Or if you want to keep it all the same, right, then just 6 across the board. But a little error of some sort there, I would think. Game actually lasts for 10 turns, so fairly quite a few turns there. The objectives at the end of the game, the attacker wins if they control at least 10 loot. This becomes a major victory if at least 2 houses have also been set on fire. I always like that there's more than just one thing to do in the game here. If it's not the case, then the defender wins. The defender also gets a major victory if they also prevented any houses from being set on fire. And that's one where the attacker then can kind of strategize, right? Kind of divide their forces a little bit, try to aim for at least getting some things on fire, which might draw the defenders away a little bit, which might make the center easier to get and pick up some loot on. The weather here, basic clear skies, no special rules. If you want to play with weather, of course, you could roll a d6, and that really can add some fun variations to the basic scenario. So the scenario here presents the attacker with a challenge. Don't hesitate to swap roles with your opponent in subsequent games and discuss different tactics. You'll see they can vary quite a bit depending on terrain, where you deploy figures, etc., and the factions themselves, of course. Buildings present on the map can be searched, as explained in the rules. I like that there was also going to reference the pages for you. It makes it nice and easy. To spice up your game, you could decide that the defender has the right to hide some of their troops and buildings before the start of the encounter, which, yeah, would be actually pretty cool to do that, or have some sort of blind deployment. The map here represents a village located within a 12-foot radius of the center of the, not 12 foot, gosh, 12-inch radius of the center of the table. The village contains a small church or chapel, 4 houses, and a campfire. There are fields around, paddocks containing animals, sheep, pigs, represented by tokens worth 2 loot. You can kind of see that on the map here. Spread throughout the village are also quite a few baskets of food, barrels, and other containers, so you do have to ideally have a fair bit of just scattered terrain of the appropriate sort, if not at least making some sort of tokens for it. But barrels, baskets, chests worth 1 loot, the sheep or pig, right, the actual animals, 2, which also keeps it from just being sort of a cluster, a giant cluster in the center, right? There's multiple things going on with the fancier loot being off to the sides, but ideally more of the buildings are in the center for the fire as well, or for setting things on fire. It does say that there's basically 30 loot available on the table, so quite a few things, which then makes it easier again for the attacker to maybe carry off 10 of them. A road crosses the table from one edge to the other, passing through the center of the village. Don't hesitate to change the layout a little bit too. You can make it fancier, maybe even like a complete crossroads. Loot has positions on the map, but again, the defender can place this loot in the village area for more immersion. In this case, they must put at least 2 loot in each field, paddock, and building on the table, right? So, yeah, the defender can't just kind of completely cherry pick that. So having it spread out in either case seems like a better deal too. Just makes it a little bit more fun to spread out and have different areas where the fight will carry on. And then finally, if you want to play or lay the table out yourself. Players can also take turns placing area of terrain where they want to, one at a time. There's all kinds of different variations for that in either case. So, and again, we can certainly mix up the village a little bit. We could even have maybe like a small stream somewhere kind of crossing different parts. So there's all kinds of different things we can do. And as I mentioned earlier, we can also throw in weather conditions or other like night fighting and stuff like that. So fun scenario here, obviously named after the game. They probably should have made this scenario 1 just to have it be first and foremost, but nonetheless a pretty cool one. Let us know if you guys have played the Pillage scenario already, what factions were involved, and how you set it up, and then how did the games go. Was it more attacker wins or defender wins? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll have more Pillage for you soon.